The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Kate ran into Paul McCartney while visiting the National Portrait Gallery. The Mirror reports Paul greeted the princess with a handshake and introduced Kate to his wife, Nancy. Kate said, "Hello, nice to meet you too." McCartney told her that NPG's staff had been amazing here. Really, they've been great. Paul has his own exhibition at the gallery, covering 1963 to 64. "When you weren't even born," he said, smiling to the royal. Turning to his wife, he added, "Oh, you weren't either." Nancy laughingly looked upwards and countered before replying that she very much had been. The encounter happened in the gallery's gift shop, where one might expect to run into Paul McCartney and Kate Middleton at the same time. Not as popular on the music scene are Harry and Meghan. Kelly Osbourne was on the I've Had It podcast and called Harry we can't even clean it up here, let's say a bozo of sorts, but used a good solid British pub slang word in there. He's a whining, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems, my life was so hard. Harry and Meghan aren't too popular on the sports scene either. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith said, "If Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex aren't complaining about the royal family, I don't know if anyone cares what they have to say. I'm not trying to dog Meghan Markle, like she doesn't have any talent or anything like that. She did damn good on I Love Suits. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch it again. I love that show. But what I'm saying is, you don't really care what they have to say unless they're insulting their family." Palace Intrigue will be right back.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Corinne.
We host the podcast Pop Fiction Women,
where we deep dive into the best books, TV, and movies,
as well as the women creating them.
So who are we?
Corinne is a lawyer who worked on Wall Street. She loves psychological thrillers that keep her guessing and has a soft spot for messy women trying to break cycles of addiction and self-sabotage.
And Kate is a litigator who worked at some of the top international law firms. She loves romantic comedies that keep her swooning and has a soft spot for the ice queens who learn to let their heart lead over their heads.
We cover a range of content like When Harry Met Sally, Fleabag, Yellow Jackets, Normal People, and Tell Me Lies.
And we also interview your favorite authors like Emily Giffin, Tia Williams, and Rebecca Searle.
Where we always ask the most important question of all, what's your sign?
Subscribe or follow Pop Fiction Women wherever you get podcasts.
The New York Post alleged that Meghan Markle faked podcast interviews with her voice added later, but Andy Scott, a former Gimlet staffer, tweeted, "We did occasionally have producers do interviews, though never the main ones, and we never edited her asking questions into interviews the producers conducted." Newsweek spoke with PR consultant Mark Borkowski about the possibility of a podcast reboot for the Sussexes. Borkowski said, "You learn more from failure than you ever do from success. The hard, cold reality of a failure gives you a keen focus on who you are, and what you stand for, and what you should be doing." Harry and Meghan have got a huge following. As much as people want to take pot shots at them, there is still a younger generation that follows them. Every tech platform now has some really impressive either AI tools or tools that they use to give them in the sort of data analytics they need. Bill Simmons is one thing, but it's cold data that will give them some sort of analysis on whether or not it's worth it. They clearly are not great at producing the content that people want, so you do a reboot, you learn. They need good people. Above all, they need critical friends. They need someone to challenge them and hold the truth out. I don't get a feeling that they've got that in their camp. It is their way or nobody's way from what I've been hearing, and I think this leads to a disastrous inconsistency. To be successful in this world, you have to be consistent. However, he said if they listen to the bullshit and believe nothing is wrong, then they're going to completely find themselves on the snake rather than the ladder, and this is the global game of snakes and ladders of fame and reputation. Look, I would learn from this and move forward with it. Every crisis has an opportunity. Every failure gives a rebirth. Be truthful and be forthright to yourselves. Be honest to yourselves. Speaking of Good Morning Britain, royal correspondent Jack Royston said Harry and Meghan need to stop complaining, adding, if they are going to pull this back, they need to go on a journey of self-discovery where they can accept that they have got some massive things wrong. He said the couple can still do old-school royal thing of giving back in a way that doesn't look like it's all about them. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music, or your app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.